I just got myself a HP Compaq 6200 small form factor PC. This thing's a budget office PC from the early 2010s. And with a used retail price of about £30 to £50, they're pretty much as budget as it gets. Inside this thing, we've got an Intel Core i5 2400 CPU, 8GB of RAM, but you know what our $50 hasn't got us? A graphics card. So that means that we're going to be using the built-in Intel HD Graphics 2000 in this thing. So shout out to my friends over at Sustainable Tech for Good for actually lending me this PC. In this video, we're basically going to be pushing this thing to the absolute maximum and trying to squeeze every last drop of performance we can out of this thing in my favorite game, Minecraft. So let's get it all plugged in and see what we've got. All right, so it's time to turn on the computer. 3, 2, 1. Okay, that was a bit underwhelming. Okay, we're up and running. Let's go. Keyboard, mouse all working, and we've got this on screen. This is where things started to go off course. I turned the computer on, but nothing happened. There's no sign of any operating system at all. This can mean one of only two things. Either the hard drive has been wiped and there's no data on it, or there's no hard drive in this computer whatsoever. And guess what it was? Well, let's have a look for ourselves. Whoa, the power supply is coming out. I forgot they do that. And this comes out as well. And yeah, we've got no hard drive. So with no hard drive, I dug around and found this. This slow ancient hard drive is gonna have to do. Anyway, I got this installed. At least you guys can't complain that I'm upgrading this computer. We're sticking to its true $50 PC form. Installing Windows was painful. Let's just say this old hard drive isn't exactly winning any speed races and could possibly be failing, but it was finally up and running. All right, so here we are on Windows 10, finally all installed. That took forever, but let's see how it runs Minecraft. All right, here we are, Minecraft 1.21 on the $50 PC, and look at our frames, 6 FPS. Wow. I mean, it's better than I thought. I thought it'd have about 1 FPS, but here we are. Is Minecraft playable? It's not whatsoever. This is really painful, actually. Right, so we just turn down some settings here, and we get about 20 FPS. Not too bad, actually. Let's try full screen. Okay, full screen, we get about the same, 20 FPS. So you see our CPU usage here, it really spikes, doesn't it? Look at our RAM usage as well. Almost half of our RAM's being used just playing Minecraft here. 100% CPU usage there, just loading in new chunks. I think our CPU is going to be our major bottleneck here. But the CPU is also our graphics as well, so we're really not giving this CPU a good time. Right, let's try 1.8 and see how it runs on there. Alright, so I've just loaded in 1.8.9. So this is an older version of Minecraft, so it should run a lot better than Minecraft 1.21. The game looks super nice as well, but we'll turn down the video settings just to see how much FPS we can actually get here. This actually feels a lot smoother. So yeah, as you can see, we're on about 60 FPS, which is not too bad, but we can obviously get a lot more than this once we've optimized this PC. All right, so now it's time to get into some proper optimizations on this PC. So now we've got an idea of how Minecraft runs on both 1.21 and 1.8, we can begin optimizing. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to start debloating Windows, because we definitely need to streamline this operating system. And speaking of streamlining, you know what streamlined my workspace recently? This brand new desk from FlexiSpot. FlexiSpot have sent me their new E9 standing desk with brushless motor. This desk was incredibly easy to set up. It came in 2 parts, but I was able to build it really quickly without any help. The build quality is really good as well. It's made from high quality materials, it's really strong and sturdy, and not much wobble. If you go from sitting and standing throughout the day, it can really help to reduce back pain, improve focus, and even boost your energy levels. And with the FlexiSpot E9, making that switch couldn't be easier. Plus it has 4 memory presets on its smart touchscreen display, so you can save your ideal heights for work, gaming, or even for multiple people to use. It can take up to 180 kilograms, so if you want to do what I did and sit on it, it'll take your weight as you go up and down. There's also a built-in USB port so you can charge your phone, and a cable management trunk for a clean, organized workspace, unlike mine. And FlexiSpot also backs it up with a 20-year warranty, so you know it's built to last. You can get your E9 standing desk from the link in the description down below, and make sure to check out FlexiSpot's Black Friday deals, because they got some really good ones on right now. Thank you to FlexiSpot for sending me this, and let's get back into the video. Since we've got integrated graphics in here, the only thing we're really optimizing here is the CPU. So let's try and do something about that. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to unpark all of our CPU cores. So we're going to be using this program called CPU Unpark. It's quite easy to use. Just press unpark all. Job done. So CPU cores can sometimes be parked in order to save power. It doesn't really happen normally on computers like this, but on laptops it's very common. So yeah, we'll just go ahead and do that and see if that makes any difference. I've done many videos before on the Chris Titus tool, and it's pretty much my go-to tool for everything tweaking, installing, configuring. There's so many tweaks and stuff we can do here. Right, so we're going to go ahead and run the standard tweaks here. Right, so now that's all done, the best thing to do now is to restart your PC. All right, so we're back. We've restarted our computer, and now let's have a look at our task manager. There we go. We've halved our background processes. We're now on 75. I believe this was on about 130, 140 before, and we're using only 1.6 of our 7.9 gigabytes of RAM as well. So that was worth doing. Our disk is on 100% right now. Right, next up, we're going to tackle the bloatware. So let's get rid of Katana and all this rubbish stuff here. Don't want news and interests. Don't want the search bar there. Unpin this stuff. We go to the settings and we go to apps here. So let's just go through and uninstall all the Microsoft bloatware. Alright, so we've pretty much uninstalled everything that it will allow us to uninstall. So yeah, that's looking a lot cleaner now. We're going to go into gaming and we're going to make sure game mode's enabled but game bar's disabled. We're also going to go into privacy here and just turn off everything. Because when I did this install, I basically just said yes to everything just to get through the installer quickly. So now we've got to go through and disable everything. Luckily, the Chris Titus tool does do a lot of this for us. So there isn't much here that we need to do. Also got background apps disabled as well because we're on Windows 10. Right, so the next thing we're going to do is disable startup apps. But we're actually going to dig a little bit deeper and we're going to use this program called Auto Runs, which is actually made by Microsoft themselves. So we're going to go through here and it shows us pretty much everything that loads up when we turn on our computer. And we're just going to disable the things that we don't want. So now with Minecraft open, what we can do is we go on the task manager. A lot of people suggested to do this, but we can go to Minecraft, go to details, and we can set the priority of Java Minecraft to, let's put it to real time. So that's another trick we can say we've done. Right, now we're going to get into the more desperate tweaks. So let's go into here. So we've turned off storage sense. We're going to go into personalization. We're obviously going to turn off our transparency effects. And then also if we go to about this PC and go to properties, then we go to advanced system settings here and then go on performance, go on settings, we can adjust for best performance, which is going to make Windows look really ugly, but we want the best performance possible. And this is the best way to do it. So now, as you can see, it disables animations and the fonts look awful, but every little helps. So hopefully by doing all of this, we're saving the CPU and the RAM so that when we're gaming, we'll get the maximum resources allocated to it so we can get better performance. So next up, we're going to go and clear our temp folder. You'll probably have way more stuff in yours, but since this is a relatively fresh install, we've got about 2 things, so we can delete that. We can also go to prefetch as well, and then just delete everything in here. It's definitely a good thing to do every once in a while. Now, the next thing is we're going to look at our Intel HD Graphics Control Center, and we're going to use some settings on there to optimize it. We're going to put it on advanced mode. Make sure you're running the latest drivers. Let's go ahead and adjust this for performance rather than quality. Custom settings. All right, there we go. Apply that. Another underrated tweak we can do is if we go into our device manager here, we can actually disable stuff that we're not actually using. So if your PC's got Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, but you don't use it, just disable it. All right, and last but not least, I'm going to be using the Ultimate Windows Tweaker just to go through and fine-tune some more settings to optimize this PC a little bit further. Got lots of hidden options and settings in it. Make sure to go check it out. It is definitely recommended to create a system restore point before you mess around with this. So I've already gone ahead and done that. Go through all of here. You can also go through services here and disable stuff you're not using. And it's even got a resource monitor so you can see what's actually using the most resources and disable them. We can also disable Windows Update, OneDrive, user tracking, and you can also even turn off Windows Defender as well, which is probably not recommended. Right, so we've just restarted and we've got 58 background processes and only 1.7 gig of RAM being used. Now you'll notice that I didn't use any custom operating systems on this computer, and that's because I wanted wanted to try and stay true to form with this $50 PC, running a standard version of Windows 10 on a hard drive. This is something that you guys could probably replicate on your computers. A lot of people share computers, so they don't really have the ability to install custom operating systems on them. So yeah, I've tried to do as much as I can with what I've got here. So let's install Optifine and some other FPS boosting mods and see what FPS we can get. So I've installed Optifine, as you can see here, and I've also allocated some more RAM to the game as well, which is definitely recommended. So let's go through and turn down our video settings and see how much FPS we get. So we've optimized Minecraft settings. We've gone into like the video settings, turned them all down. I've also turned down the full screen resolution as well. And yeah, we're getting like a consistent 100 FPS, which is really good, honestly. Here we are in another world here. This is the one that we're in before. And yeah, this is perfectly playable. I could definitely play like this. We're not spiking in FPS or anything. And our CPU and RAM is a lot better off as well, especially the CPU usage, the RAM usage, and the CPU temperature. And to finish off, we may as well just go on a super flat world and see what our FPS is like here. Try and get the maximum FPS we can possibly get. Let's go into the voids here and just look down. What about if we look up? Do we get any more? We zoom in as well. Oh yeah, zooming in does a lot. So we're getting about 300, just under 400 FPS in just the voids here. I'm pretty sure we could probably get more FPS if we just go out of full screen and then we go into a small windowed mode. This is just like the go-to really for getting the most FPS. 500. Here we are in 800 by 600 resolution. This is really bad, honestly. We've turned down the resolution quite a lot. And then if we go into the void, I saw we were getting about 600 FPS. Doesn't look like we're going to be able to get 1000 FPS, but yeah, 600 FPS on 1.8. I'll take it. Right, let's just try and get 1000 FPS. Small windowed mode, zooming in, 900. Come on, can we push 1000? Come on, it's fluctuating so much. Right, tiny windowed mode. You're definitely not going to be able to play like this. Nope, it's just trolling me. We can't get any more than 900, but still, it's worth it. Right, let's try 1.21. Right, meanwhile, we're on 1.20. Now, 1.20 has been a real struggle to get working on this computer. Not only that, but also optimizing it has been quite difficult. We're not on 1.21 because I've actually got a special FPS boosting mod pack applied. So we've got all of these mods here. I've turned down the settings. We've obviously got sodium, we've got fabric. So I've put all the settings pretty much on the lowest that they will go. We're still getting just under 30 FPS, which isn't the best really. Ideally, I'd want at least 60. I can't seem to get it there, and it's quite annoying. If we go into small windowed modes here, it actually does play quite well in about 60 FPS. So maybe we may just have to turn down the full screen resolution. Right, so I couldn't work out how to turn down the full screen resolution in game, so I've actually gone ahead and turned down the Windows resolution completely. So let's see how many frames that now gives us. Oh, what do you know? Over 60 FPS. We're getting about 80 FPS on 1.20. I think this is probably the best we're going to be able to get it on such an old integrated graphics system. But yeah, I mean, it's playable, I guess. What happens if we go into full screen? Oh, even better. If you look at the CPU meter, I'm just going to go and render in some new chunks. The FPS then starts to drop. The CPU meter goes up. It spikes to like 80, 90%, and then it comes back down again once we've obviously rendered in those chunks. But yeah, through integrated graphics alone, I think this is probably the best we're going to get it. So unfortunately, we couldn't do much with the $50 PC on Minecraft 1.21. I did mess around with different versions of Java and OpenGL DLL files, but I just can't get it to run smoothly. And even with sodium, fabric, and all the FPS boosting mods, we just can't seem to get good performance out of the Intel HD Graphics 2000. I think the best option is probably to add a GPU, maybe a small cheap GPU to this PC, and then we might be able to take it to the next level. Having said that, we did manage to boost our FPS pretty well in Minecraft 1.8.9. So you may be wondering, how much of a difference has it actually made? Well, I went ahead and ran some benchmarks before we started optimizing, and I've just run it now, and here are the results. So as you can see there, a big gain in FPS, and the game feels a lot more smooth, and it's actually really playable now on this PC. So not much of a gain with the 1.21 benchmarks, but still, a gain's a gain, and we're making good progress on it. So our $50 PC went from struggling to run Minecraft at the start of the video to now, and I think we've made a pretty good improvement in this video. We didn't exactly double our FPS on 1.20, but we still got it in a pretty good state. So can you turn a $50 PC into a Minecraft machine? Well, with a bit of tweaking and optimization, you might be able to pull it off. I mean, yeah, it's not going to replace my high-end gaming PC anytime soon, but it was still an interesting experiment to try, and it's definitely a very popular PC, which I'm sure lots of people are trying to run Minecraft on. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more budget optimizations, make sure to leave a like and let me know in the comment section down below. And also let me know what you want to see me try and optimize next. I'm sure Sustainable Tech for Good have got way more tech that I could borrow from, and I'm always up for a challenge as well. So that's going to be the video. Hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you in my next video.